Hello, BookTube. I have more mail. Yet more mail came. There was a bunch earlier today, and then I made a video with my friend Sam, and I'm sure you're going to bombard that video with comments about how much you prefer him to me. Fair warning, I get too many of those kind of comments. We're going to have a 10-hour live stream. I'll put you people in your place. But we have a bunch of packages. I figured since I caught hell for opening packages off camera before, I'll do it on camera now. So the first one is one of these vacuum pressed cardboard things. A finished copy, we can hope. Some sort of invoice inside. We don't want that. What is this? What do we got here? Oh, okay. Well, okay. Let's check the invoice on this. Is this from one of you? Or is this from the publisher? No, this is from the publisher. Interesting. Oh, boy. Okay, well, it's an Osprey title. And they are history and military history. And if I have a contact for them, I'm going to bombard them with requests. Fantastic. So is this a new book? Yeah, it is. Okay, great. Fantastic. This is by Don Holloway, and it's At the Gates of Rome, The Fall of the Eternal City, AD 410. Fantastic. Just fantastic. I did not request this. This is fantastic. I don't have any kind of a sheet for it, so this could be out already for all I know. I'll have to find out, if I can, who sent this to me. There are a lot of Osprey titles that I would take and review if they would send them to me. So we don't have a sheet for this. We'll just, and a lot of you Roman history buffs are going to know the details anyway. In this epic new book, master storyteller Don Holloway introduces us to two titans of the ancient world. Roman general Flavius Stilicho defended the Western Empire against repeated invasions, and no one presented more potent threat than Alaric, king of the Goths, who we saw had a book of his own last year. This book reveals the tale of Stilicho and Alaric at the series of hard-fought wars they waged. Stilicho bested his rival in battle, but failed to capture the wily Alaric. Eventually, a truce was declared. Alaric and his men would serve honorably in the Roman army, but it was a tentative peace, ultimately undone by the corruption at the heart of Rome. Famously dramatized by Edward Gibbon. And here we have a new book that won't have the rhetorical flair of Gibbon, but it will go, I imagine, into really good modern readings of the ancient sources and anything new that might have cropped up in the meantime. Great, fantastic Roman history. We're off to a fine start. Let's see. What is this next one? Okay, this is an advanced copy of some kind. What have we got here? Okay, this comes out in July, at the end of July, so this is a long time from now. Okay, no sheet with this one either. It's going to be a hard sell. For a lot of you, it's going to be a very hard sell. This is by Sarian Sumner, and it is called Endless Forms, The Secret World of Wasps. There are the wasp wings on the cover there. This is going to be a hymn of praise to the most hated insect in the world. Let's see here. Everyone worries about the collapse of bee populations. But what about wasps? Deemed the gangsters of the insect world, wasps are winged assassins with formidable stings, conduits of biblical punishment, provokers of fear and loathing, inspiration for horror movies. Wasps are perhaps the most maligned insect on our planet. Totally agreed, and totally deserved. But do wasps deserve this reputation? Of course they do. They'll sting you out of anger. No other insect will do that. Endless Forms opens our eyes to the highly complex and diverse world of wasps. They are 100 million years older than bees, and there are 10 times more wasp species than there are bee species. There are wasps that spend their entire lives sealed inside a fig, that turn cockroaches into living zombies. Yeah, they sound lovable. That live inside other wasps. There are wasps that build citadels that put their own societies to shame, that put our own societies to shame, marked by divisions of labor, rebellions, and policing, monarchies, leadership contests, undertakers, police, negotiators, and social parasites. I already know I'm going to love this book. Wasps are nature's most misunderstood insects. As predators and pollinators, they keep the planet's ecological balance in check. They are also nature's pest controllers, A world without wasps would soon be just as ecologically devastated as one without bees or beetles or butterflies. Okay. All right. Well, they're 100 million years older than bees. I did not know that. Uh, Fantastic. Okay. And Sarian Summer is the professor of behavioral ecology at the University College London, where she studies the ecology and evolution of social insects. Great. Okay, so this comes out in late July, so it doesn't affect me immediately, and I confess it's got an uphill battle, but I am intrigued, definitely. And a nature book plus a Roman history book. Good Lord, what's the next one going to be? A Kennedy biography? Let's take a look and see. What have we got here? Another advanced copy by the look of it. The great folks at Basic Books. A little salsa music for you, blaring at volume 50. but the person who's doing that to everyone around him is not going to live out the night, so we can be generous. This comes out in September. Wow, mid-September. This is by Joseph L. Graves, and it is called A Voice in the Wilderness. A pioneering biologist explains how evolution can help us solve our biggest problems. So we have another nature book. Fantastic. How are we doing for light here? I can't show you the bean because she's curled up next to me, but I don't want to shade my face, since that's the reason you should all be here. Okay? So what have we got here? Science and technology play integral roles in nearly every part of our lives, but scientific illiteracy and anti-intellectualism are rampant in the public sphere. Entirely true. Where do we seek guidance, and how can we forge ahead with the cacophony seems only to rise at every turn? Within science's most reviled and contested field, evolutionary biology, lie the answers to correcting our greatest ills. This book, let's see here, the author is the first recipient of African descent to be granted a PhD in evolutionary biology. Good Lord, can that be true? Oh, that's so shameful. He explores the field from his own experience as well as the popular misappropriations of evolutionary reasoning that have caused so much damage to those marginalized in our society. From countering racism and discrimination based on gender and sexuality to fighting pandemics, we must incorporate science into our thinking and our actions, including our address of its misuse. Okay. This book is both an urgent wake-up call and a means forward for our democracy and our species. Good Lord. As a black biologist and a Christian, the author responds to detractors of science and faith alike to show that a common path of understanding exists along both. As with the biblical reference to the book's title, A Voice in the Wilderness, is a reflection on truth and preparation for what lies ahead. In our present moment of crisis, we need clarity to imagine a bright future. Okay, well, that sounds pretty ringing, doesn't it? That comes out in mid-September, probably the second Tuesday in September. A Voice in the Wilderness. An interesting idea there, sort of blending science and religion. That'll be interesting. Or interesting and also a little bit ironic, since religion has traditionally been the source of most misunderstandings about science. And then this last package is a priority mail envelope, and I'm thinking it probably came from one of you, as priority mail envelopes tend to do, which means that we probably have a violation of rule number 1 on this channel. For those of you who are new to the channel, rule number 1 is don't send me a book. Don't do it. I know I talk about books all the time. I know I'm surrounded by books, and I dearly love them. But I've also been dealing with them a very long time, and under very specific circumstances. The chances that you could pick a book at your library sale or whatever that I will actually want and not already have are infinitesimally small. What I want you to do is send me your tech. You're free to... Actually, one loophole of rule number 1 is you're free to send me ebooks. You send as many ebooks as you want. But the other loophole is you're free to send me tech. I want your old tech. You have a cabinet full of old tech you don't use. Feel free to send me that, but not books. But anyway, now that I've gotten the rant out of my way, I will prepare myself to be grateful. To be grateful. Because every once in a while, it does happen that one of you will send me a book that I actually want. it does sometimes happen. Sometimes on this channel, for instance, I will mention that I want a book, a specific thing, and you will. Oh, ooh. Okay, well, this is rather embarrassing, isn't it? One of you sent me your old tech. Oh, fantastic. It's a Kobo Libra. I mentioned the other day on this channel that I've never even held a Kobo in my hand. They're an e-reader, and they're a major one. Now that Barnes & Noble's Nook has sort of gone under, it's Amazon's Kindle and the Kobo Libra. Well, who did this then? Oh, okay. Kindly disregard that. Kindly disregard that rant. And let's see what we have here. So I'm gathering that this is the case. I'm hoping that the original sender will not take offense if I don't use the case. Oh, it's one of those origami things. It's one of those origami cases. So see, you've got magnets in there, so you can blend those together and make a little stand. If you want to read maybe while you're eating soup or something like that. Although who would eat soup? I don't know. Okay. All right. Well, all right. There's the case, but the main thing is the device itself. Oh, look at that. So this is a Kobo Libra. Notice the chassis bends up a little to facilitate you holding it in your hand. And right where your hand will place, if you hold it like that, right there are the page buttons. The Kobo Libra has page turn buttons, like the Kindle Oasis. Wow. Okay, so I have a power cord and everything, and a little note. Okay. All right, well, I will turn this on. I will see what kind of shape it's in. There is the power button on the back there. Neat little design. Some of you, most of you, in fact, if you have an e-reader, will have a Kindle Paperwhite. And one of the only complaints I have with the Kindle Paperwhite, aside from the fact that it has no page turn buttons, is that the power button is on the bottom right next to the charging port, and right where you're going to rest it in the palm of your hand. It's just asking you to power it off by accident. Here, the power cord is completely inaccessible. There is no way that you will ever touch that part of this device unless you want to turn the power on and off. So I will power this on, power it up to 100%, root around in it a little, and then transfer 1,000 or 2 books onto this thing to see what kind of reading experience it gives me. This is the Kobo Libra. Does it say what it is? The Kobo Libra H2O. I don't think the Kobo Libras are actually branded that anymore because now they all have the waterproofing technology. This is supposedly able to be dunked into 2 meters of water for up to an hour or something like that. Something absurd like that. In all of the tech videos that I've ever watched online, I've never seen even the most ardent tech head who has a whole room full of review copies. I've never seen anyone actually have the gall to try that and see if it works. Why would you do that? Why would anybody do that? Why would anybody read 2 meters underwater? But I'll turn this on, and you've got the nice rubberized back there. This is all plastic. It's not metal like the Kindle Oasis, but the Kindle Oasis is its clearest cousin, as you can tell, right? The Kindle Oasis has a bulky ledge along the side here that is meant to facilitate gripping that also includes a lot of the device's innards. This thing does something similar. There's no bulky edge here. Instead, there's a hook. The device hooks like that to facilitate you holding it in your hand because it naturally presses against the palm. And if I remember correctly, the Kindle or the Kobo H2Os have a gyroscope so that you can hold it like that, but you can also switch it around like that and it'll orient itself. So I will do some e-reading on this. That's what I will do. First thing I will do is sideload a bunch of books onto this thing. We'll see how it does that. We'll see how smooth a process that is. And another thing that I really want to try is exploring the Kobo bookstore, which I have never experienced. I've never tried it at all. I think, if I remember correctly, a lot of you will know better than I will. Doesn't Kobo have the equivalent of Amazon Unlimited, where you can download books for free? You get a certain number of them, and if you exceed that number, you have to put one back in order to download another one, but you can keep them as long as you want. I'll have to find out. All right. Well, obviously, I am giddy. I am very happy. The person who sent this, thank you very, very much. So this would theoretically go inside this case, and then I'm not sure if I'll want to use it because not only is this asymmetrical, which means it's extremely unlikely that you would scratch the screen by accident, but the screen is also recessed. It's not flush like the Kindle Paperwhite. It's recessed just a bit. See that ledge there? And that also tends to protect it. We will see. I've discovered that I don't particularly like having these things in cases if I can avoid it. And this isn't a glass screen as far as I know. But anyway, all right, okay, well, there's another mail haul for you. We have A Voice in the Wilderness. We have Endless Forms, a Hymn of Praise to Wasps. We have an Osprey book, At the Gates of Rome. Which is, I'm interested in the subject matter, obviously, but I'm also interested in maybe finding a publicist that I can suck dry like a vampire. And I have some of your old reading tech. I have, at long last, I will get to play around with a Kobo Libra. Great. Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. Wonderful. So that's a second mail haul for you. I'm going to sign off. No more videos today. I have a guest over. We're going to be having wine and calzones and a bunch of fun talking about books. And talking about all of you, too, behind your backs. But I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you, BookTube.